Imagine living with something so powerful, yet it's hidden, undetectable, like a storm far out at sea. You can't see it, but it's there, waiting. That's what it's like to live with HIV. But there's good news. For people on antiretroviral therapy, HIV can become undetectable. This isn't just a medical term, it means so much more. If HIV is undetectable, it can't be transmitted to others. Yes, undetectable equals untransmittable, or U equals U. Let's dive into what that means and why it's life-changing. What is an undetectable viral load? So, what is an undetectable viral load? Simply put, it's when the HIV virus is present in the body, but at such low levels that standard tests can't detect it. For someone living with HIV, reaching this stage means that their viral load is suppressed, so low that they can't pass the virus on through sex. To be clear, undetectable doesn't mean cured. The virus is still there, but it's under control, unable to harm the body or others. That's a huge milestone in managing HIV, thanks to antiretroviral therapy, ART. How healthcare professionals test for viral load. Let's talk testing. Doctors use something called a viral load test to measure the amount of HIV in a person's blood. It works like this: the test counts how many viral copies are present in each milliliter of blood. Think of it like zooming in with a microscope. First you see just a few dots, then none at all. Once those dots fall below a certain number, usually fewer than 40 copies per milliliter, the virus becomes undetectable. Other terms you might hear are durably undetectable, which means the virus has been at undetectable levels for 6 months or more, and viral load suppression, which is slightly higher, under 200 copies per milliliter. Even though the virus might not reach undetectable levels immediately, these low numbers are still good news. With ART, it's possible to get there over time. The impact of antiretroviral therapy. Now, let's get into the big picture: antiretroviral therapy, or ART. ART stops HIV from making copies of itself, keeping the virus in check. Over time, as you keep taking ART, your body reaches a stage where HIV is under control, and you're not at risk of passing it on. Imagine you've got a garden with one stubborn weed. You don't see it right away, but if you leave it alone, it'll grow and spread. ART acts like a super gardener, taking out the weed's roots. So, instead of letting the virus grow out of control, ART keeps HIV at a level where it's almost invisible. Studies have shown that if people with HIV keep their viral load undetectable, they can live healthy lives and even have intimate relationships without fear of passing on the virus. Real-life evidence, studies proving U equals U. U equals U isn't just a slogan. It's based on years of research. In one large study, 1,166 couples participated. One partner had HIV, and the other didn't. The couples had sex without using condoms, but with one condition: the HIV-positive partner's viral load was undetectable. The result? 0 transmissions. Another study looked at 358 same-sex male couples in places like Australia and Brazil, and, again, the results were the same. No transmissions occurred when the HIV-positive partner had an undetectable viral load. These studies are game changers. They prove that U equals U is more than just theory, it's real, and it works. Major health organizations like the CDC and the UN endorse U equals U because it's rooted in solid evidence. Different types of HIV tests, what they measure and how they're used. Let's break down the types of tests used for people living with HIV. There's the viral load test we've already talked about, which measures how much HIV is in the blood. But there's also a CD4 count test, which looks at the health of a person's immune system. When someone first starts on ART, doctors may monitor their viral load every 3 to 4 months. Once someone's been stable for 2 years, they may only need a test every 6 months. This means less worry, more freedom, and a stronger peace of mind. Other tests, like rapid HIV tests, can screen for the presence of HIV antibodies in a person's blood or saliva. These are quick, convenient tests that tell if someone has HIV, but they're not used to measure how much HIV is in the blood. Why 47% suppression is a huge deal. According to UNAIDS, around 47% of people living with HIV have their virus suppressed. That's an incredible statistic. Why? Because it means millions of people are now in control of HIV instead of the other way around. It also means fewer people are passing HIV on to others. That's why access to art is so important. With art, people can reach that undetectable milestone, dramatically improving both their health and their quality of life. Every step toward U=U means fewer infections and a world that's better educated and more compassionate about HIV. Starting art, a lifesaver, not just a treatment. If you or someone you know has recently been diagnosed with HIV, starting art can seem overwhelming. But here's the reality: art doesn't just manage symptoms. It saves lives. When someone starts art, they'll typically take a combination of 3 medications that work together to block the virus from replicating. This gives the immune system a fighting chance to rebuild itself. Reaching an undetectable status might take up to 6 months or even longer. But once someone is undetectable, they can breathe a sigh of relief. They're not infectious to others, and they've taken a huge step in protecting their own health. And here's something essential to remember: to stay undetectable, consistency is key. Skipping medication can allow the virus to multiply again, so taking art every day is vital for long-term success. How art is giving hope to millions. The impact of art on communities around the world has been profound. Art not only improves individual health but also empowers people to live openly and without fear. HIV is no longer a death sentence, it's a manageable condition. People who stay undetectable for 6 months or longer don't just avoid transmitting HIV. They also reduce the risk of long-term health issues associated with HIV, such as weakened immune systems or chronic inflammation. Art allows people to plan for the future, form relationships, and live without a constant fear of HIV transmission. Conclusion: the journey to U=U. Here's the takeaway: HIV may still exist in the body, but by taking art, people can keep it under control. And if the virus is undetectable, it's also untransmittable. This changes the game for people with HIV, giving them back their health, their confidence, and their futures. U=U is more than just a medical term. It's hope, empowerment, and proof that with the right treatment, we can rewrite what it means to live with HIV. For millions, that's a revolution. If you or someone you know has been affected by HIV, know this: with art, there's a path forward. You're not alone, and you have the power to make HIV undetectable. Stay informed, stay hopeful, and remember, U=U.